because if people are hungry, then you can't reach them. If they're concentrating on the fact that their bellies are empty, or they're cold, or they're worried about their children having something to wear the next day, it's really hard to get the message to them about what Christ can do for their lives.
Anything you do to help people is a Christian work. Anything you do to help people have a better quality of life, and then while you're working with tools, you also have a chance to share. And the most important thing in life is people, it's not the buildings.
And you think, well, what does this firewood ministry do? Well, it helps heat people's homes. We can provide food, we can provide clothing, but if they don't have the means to pay the electric bill, then the firewood will help heat their home.
I call this sort of backdoor evangelism. You get in and help somebody with your hands and encourage them and strengthen them, and along the way you're showing them Christ and they're telling them about Christ. Well, it's amazing. It's a miracle to see what God has done with just a few students who said, you know, what can we do? And we started with one building that we had on campus, a little garage, and we were working out of that, and now it's grown to numerous buildings and numerous staff and volunteers. It's amazing to see, you know, what a little leaven in the loaf, and someone who has a sense of calling to do something, even though they feel like the little boy with the 5 loaves and 2 fish. I don't have much, but I'll do what I can. And people come along and join and are partners together to make it happen.
The Samaritan House Family Ministries is our shelter for single women and families. We have approximately 50 plus families that will live there every single year. Many of these families are single women with children. It's a warm, safe environment, and so whenever they come, a lot of times they're a bit discouraged and have sometimes even developed a sense of hopelessness.
One thing that I always see here that always keeps me coming back is families coming in with their children, and seeing these kids that are brought up in these households that are brought up in the poverty line, and they live in that. And I want those children to be able to, you know, make it. And that's one thing that really keeps me coming back and keeps me doing this, because I want to be able to help their family, to help that child.
Recognizing that they've done nothing on their own to become homeless, but yet they're in that situation. And so we do a lot of extra things to make sure that the kids are taken care of.
So we do want to tell people there is always hope, and we want this not to be creating dependency, but helping people to go and do the right thing and know that God has a plan for their lives. And then when we can see that come back, the people who have been helped here want to give back, that's a very, very special thing, great blessing.
One of the things about the Samaritan House is it's a beautiful example of how the community has come together, how a group of God's people, His servants, if they're willing to sacrifice their time, their talents, and their resources, what a huge accomplishment that can be made. God has put together people who are willing to work in each of these areas that meet people where they're at, and that's what we need to do, is to be able to reach out to somebody, not in a judgmental way or not in a way that would say, you know, whenever you look this way or whenever you dress this way, then we're going to love on you, but to be able to say, you know, we're here and we recognize that by the grace of God we're able to serve you versus being served.